Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and Supercoach Pro. Today's video we're doing a round 13 Supercoach preview. It is a bit of a late one. Last night there was Richmond and Port Adelaide to play. Didn't do a video because I thought it was pretty irrelevant to what my trades were going to be as last night, because I was waiting on a few players to be named. As you can see up in my tab there, Jacob Weir is named tonight for the Sunday game, so that changed my trade plans. We'll get stuck in the side, so obviously I'm going to try to make it into top 1k this week by sending it all out and grabbing a few players. So as you can see here, I bought in Doherty, Ware and Owens for DeConning, McCartan and McComb. Originally I wanted to keep McCartan because I didn't think Ware would actually get a third game, if I'm brutally honest with the ins that the Giants have at the moment. And he still got named, and Bruce hasn't for the Sunday game. So, yeah, sort of really lucky that I got off lightly and traded Bruce and Hayes early. Sam Hayes from Port Adelaide didn't play last night. So, yeah, bringing in Max Gawn for Bruce and then, Sam Hayes for Tika was the perfect move. I got the 190 out of Gawney. And it also allows me to do an extra upgrade and bank 230 odd K for next week by cutting McCartan early, who I didn't really want to get rid of, but it's just an upgrade for that midfield spot, which I need to do. So, if you can hold him, he's still got a break even of 52, but I'm just going to send it, go all out, because these look like the best rookies that I can see in the next couple of weeks. Judson Clark did play for Richmond last night as a Tigers man myself. I don't know what his job security is like going forward. He'll get named next week because he did kick 2 goals, albeit in the first quarter, but he played pretty well, and he took Castagna and Rioli's role. So not a long-term player, but if you bought him in last night before the bounce, he probably did well because he's going to play the week after against Carlton. So, the thought behind this going Doherty over Sinclair is purely Doherty's done it for seasons, whereas I'm a little bit worried now with Hunter Clark's return in the VFL. He didn't get named tonight, I don't think, but I just feel like he hasn't done it before until now. Still comes back in a couple of weeks. St Kilda's fixture does look pretty tough. So I just thought, Doherty back there without Zach Williams for the next 6 to 8 weeks or whatever it is with the ankle injury, he's going to take some kickouts there and really be the leader. So I just have a better feeling that Doherty is probably more of a safer score and got a pretty good ceiling too. So fingers crossed bringing him in does pay off this week in particular. I do got 18 players playing, and Ware is a little bit of a waste trade because he's not actually going to be on my field, as you'll see in a second. All my backline is actually playing. I'm missing 2 midfield spots there with Took Miller and Greg Clark. VCing Sean Darcy because Meek isn't in against the Hawks, and we saw what Darcy Cameron did against Hawthorn. So, yeah, my pod pick is going to be Darcy for the VC. Not a lot of teams do have him, so if he goes large, I'm definitely going to climb the ranks. And then I think I'll see maybe Oliver or Gawn, to see how Monday goes. Sometimes I even change my captaincy last minute. You guys know what I'm like sometimes with that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like just a Melbourne player will play really well on the Queen's Birthday Monday game there. So that's my take on it anyway. I don't feel any confidence with any of these picks tonight in the Hewitt or Doherty sort of VC or Cripps VC. Not one of them probably will go big, but I just don't feel like they're going to get a 140, 150 that Darcy could potentially get against a ruckless Hawthorn because Lynch isn't back, so he'll be up against Reeves. Anyway, just for those bringing Mitch Owens in, obviously here that bad game where he scored stuff all in his first one where it was like 2 points or something like that. But he gets that price cycle out of his system after this game that he plays. So, 89, I'm not expecting him to go massive because that was against the Roos. He did have 10 tackles, so maybe he has a little bit of a defensive role against someone like Neil potentially. But if he gets his tackle numbers right up and scores about 60 or 70, I think it's perfect for a downgrade of 117k. I'll take that for a guy on the bubble. And same with Weir. With all those players coming back, he's somehow kept his spot, which I am actually really surprised at. His disposal count both weeks have been 12 and 13 disposals. Plays the ruse, so I feel like that's not a bad option either in your back line. And if I do get a player that is a laid out, at least I do got cover, and where will come on for potentially a laid out for any of these players. So yeah, by downgrading Ware and Owens, it gives me 231k for the week after, and I think I only need to make one trade next week to actually field a side of 18. So it could just be one simple upgrade, going someone like Clark or possibly Roses to a fallen midfield premium there. And yeah, I think the side's travelling pretty well. I'll probably obviously send McDonald to the midfield, and he can sort of be that, like I was discussing in the video on the review. He will be that swing man if there is a laid out defence mid. So he'll effectively be my D7 M9 swing, and he's got fantastic scoring in him. That 90s cover is perfect, especially late in the season when you do run out of trades. I think getting a player for cheap, even someone like Toby Green's a bit of a shout. He's at 381k. I didn't mind to punt on him, but I feel like my forward depth's pretty covered anyway. I mean, I've got Butters and Dunkley who should actually be in the forward line here. So I'm going to upgrade the midfield and just have a couple DPP guys like DeGoey being a bench player, etc. And I'm glad I held on to Butters. So you could have probably got the ton if he wasn't sitting out when he had that collision. So also another story about that Port incident, but at least we got the win, so I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, look, that's the side going into the round. There's not too many more things I want to speak about. Maybe some of the players that people are bringing in. Most of them make sense. I mean, most of the trade outs, you'd think that is pretty self-explanatory. I probably wouldn't cut Greg Clark early. Bailey Smith, yeah, I think in my honest opinion, you have to get rid of this bloke. He's missing for 3 weeks because the buy +2. So you're not going to get him back for a while. So I just don't think he's a hold. Maurice Rioli is probably a good chop too. If you did that last night, well done. And Conor Mcdonald, the guy that everyone was holding on for the buyers, hasn't really delivered. Same with Ward there. So bit of a failed rookie hold, to be fair. And Carroll doesn't get named, so he might be a loophole for the year that can be with Hamilton there. So you can't win them all. That's Supercoach. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. So all those picks are merited. Pun intended. I think Zach Merritt is the buy of the week. He's got that one bad score of 57 when he was injured. So yeah, I think they're decent trade-ins. And I've had a couple questions. Darcy versus Walsh. I'd probably go Darcy Parish over Walsh. But if you do have a head-to-head discussion that you would like to ask in the comments or any trade plans, let me know and I will get back to you in the comments below. Hopefully you guys have a good long weekend and you will see a video from me for the Monday team review Monday night. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good